Hello everyone, in this video we are going to talk about Constituent Assembly. This video will completely be in English and I will make a separate video on this topic in Hindi. So let's start with the topic, the demand for constitution or the Constituent Assembly. With the formation of Congress in 1885, there was a kind of political awakening among the people of India. They started talking about having their own constitution so that they can have right to take their own political decisions. There was a question in mind and in the discussions that why we need Britishers, why we need foreigners to take political decisions for us, and we have to follow their rules, their policies and the laws made by them. So in 1896 Bal Gangadhar Tilak started demanding constitution. In 1922 M.K. Gandhi in his book Harijan also talked about it, and later in 1924 by Swaraj Party. But the most important here is in 1934 M.N. Roy. In 1934 M.N. Roy was the first person who demanded the constitution officially. So the official demand of the constitution was by M.N. Roy in 1934, and he was the first person, or you can say he was the pioneer of communism in India. In 1935 Congress also officially demanded the constitution, and later on in 1938 Jawaharlal Nehru on the behalf of Congress has declared that we need a constitution made by the Constituent Assembly whose members will be elected by the method of universal adult franchise. So who gave the concept of universal adult franchise? This is also an important thing. It is Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru gave the concept of universal adult franchise. Okay. Now Britishers accepted this demand of constitution, and in 1940 there was August offer. August offer failed. They gave us the August offer, that means they gave us the power to make our constitution, but this August offer failed because of the dispute between Muslim League and Indian National Congress. And similarly Cripps Mission also failed because of this dispute, and Wavell's plan also failed. All these were rejected by the Muslim League. And why Muslim League have some dispute with Indian National Congress? Because Muslim League was demanding separate constitutional body, and they were demanding a separate nation for Muslims of India. Meanwhile in England there were elections, and in that election Churchill lost and Clement Attlee came to the power. Clement Attlee was from Liberal Party, and Liberal Party was always in favor of giving India the power to make their own constitution. So in 1946 Cabinet Mission came to India and it was successful. Now we are going to talk about Cabinet Mission in detail. What was the Cabinet Mission? It was not any complicated thing. Let's understand this in a very simple words. Prime Minister Clement Attlee sent three of his cabinet ministers of British Parliament to India with the proposal of making the constitution, and this proposal is known as Cabinet Mission. Now who were the three members? The three cabinet members of British Parliament were Lord Patrick Lawrence, A.B. Alexander and Stafford Cripps. Okay. Now let's talk about the composition of Constituent Assembly. There were 389 members, or you can say 389 seats. Out of these 389 seats, 296 seats in the left side, you can say it was divided into two parts. 296 seats were for the states and union territories occupied by Britishers, that is the British India province, you can say. Okay. And the rest 93 seats were for the princely states, like you can say the independent states where there were Indian rulers. Now these 296 seats that was provided for British India or British occupied India was further divided into three parts on the communal basis. It was 79 seats for Muslims, 4 seats for Sikhs, and the rest 213 seats were for general people. All those who were not Muslims, not Sikh, came into the category of general. Okay. Now I said that 296 seats were for the states and union territories occupied by Britishers in India. There were 4 union territories known as the Chief Commissionary Area. They were Kurk. The today's Karnataka was Kurk that time, and then Balochistan, Delhi, Ajmer, and there were 294 states. They actually provided one seat per 10 lakh population. Okay, but this election for these 296 seats for British India was an indirect election. Adults voted, but all the adults were not allowed to vote. Limited voting were there because of the eligibility criteria was there, and the method was single transferable vote technique. Okay, so the election held in 1900 and July 1946, and its result is shown here. You can take screenshots and have a look on this. The important thing here is no princely province in the notes part, right? That blue in color. No princely states, no princely province sent its representative initially, but later on some of the princely provinces sent their representatives except Hyderabad. And Muslim League boycotted Constituent Assembly, and on 16th August 1946 Muslim League declared as Direct Action Day, and we all know what happened after that. Now let's talk about the formation or working of the Constituent Assembly. The first sitting or the first meeting of our Constituent Assembly was on 9th December 1946. See, we have to remember this date, 9th, then on 11th, and the third sitting was on 13th. In 9th December, in the first meeting, Sachidanand Sinha, he was the oldest member, was made the temporary chairman of the Constituent Assembly. And this tradition was taken from the France, because the tradition of making the oldest person as the chairman of any committee was in France. Okay, but on 11th December 1946, by election, it was the second sitting, by election Dr. Rajendra Prasad was made the permanent chairman, and H.C. Mukherjee and V.T. Krishnamachari were made the vice chairman. Okay, on 11th December 1946, Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the permanent chairman, and H.C. Mukherjee and V.T. Krishnamachari were elected as vice chairman. The speaker was Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan was selected as a speaker. We all know about Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, that his birthday is still celebrated as Teachers' Day. Now, B.N. Rao, his full name is Benigal Narasimha Rao, was the constitutional consultant, and I personally feel he is one of the very underrated person, because his achievements are not acknowledged today. So let's talk about B.N. Rao. This is his photo. He was an ICS officer. He has his role in drafting Indian Constitution and Burma's Constitution also. He was the Prime Minister of Kashmir. He represented India in United Nations, and he was the first judge of International Court of Justice, that is in Hague, Netherlands. And if we are talking about International Court of Justice, Dalbir Bhandari is the present judge in International Court of Justice, and he is also an Indian. Okay. In the third sitting on 13th December 1946, we already had talked about the first sitting on 9th December, the second sitting on 11th December, and the third sitting is here. In third sitting 1946, Jawaharlal Nehru passed objective resolution. This objective resolution was later on modified and becomes the preamble of the Constitution. We are having the preamble today, right? So this objective resolution was modified and made the preamble. This was adopted on 22nd Jan 1947. Okay. Now let's talk about Indian Independence Act 1947. On 15th August 1947, our Constituent Assembly divided into two parts, because there were some extra things that we had to look upon. we have to look on the making of the constitution for the free India, but the another duty on the Constituent Assembly was to govern the country, to work as a legislative assembly. Okay, so when people meet to form the constitution with the motive to form the constitution, the assembly was chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and when on a separate day, these two works happen on separate day, when the people meet together with the motive to act as a central legislative assembly or to govern the country, this assembly was chaired by G.V. Mavalankar. This is also a very important name. G.V. Mavalankar was the chairman when the Constituent Assembly acts as the legislative assembly. Okay, now here are some of the important dates. On 22nd July 1947, national flag was adopted officially. 22nd July 1947, national flag was adopted officially. In May 1949, India became the member of Commonwealth country. Now, who are the Commonwealth countries? Commonwealth countries are the countries who share the common past of British colonialism. British ruled in these countries. Okay. On 24th Jan 1950, Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the first president of India. And on the same day, 24th Jan 1950, national anthem and national song are adopted. Our national anthem is Jana Gana Mana and is written by Rabindranath Tagore, and national song Vande Mataram is written by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee. Okay. Now here I have mentioned some important committees of Constituent Assembly. You can get the full list on Google. Okay. So let's discuss about these important committees of Constituent Assembly. The first one is Drafting Committee. We all know it is a very important committee, and it was chaired by B.R. Ambedkar. Drafting Committee was consisted of 7 members and was chaired by B.R. Ambedkar. Now the another important committee was Fundamental Rights and Minorities. It was chaired by Vallabhbhai Patel. And Provincial Committee. We all know that Vallabhbhai Patel is like known for this purpose because he united all the provincial state together. So Provincial Committee was chaired by Vallabhbhai Patel. Now this is a hack to remember things, that if you see union there in any of the committee, majority of the times it's Jawaharlal Nehru who chaired the committee. So Union Constituent Committee or Union Power Committee was chaired by Jawaharlal Nehru. The rest, Rules and Procedures, Ad Hoc Committee on National Flag, Steering Committee and Finance and Staff Committee was chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. So as I told, Drafting Committee was the most important committee, and which was chaired by Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. It was formed on 29th August 1947, and its members were, we are just going to discuss the name of the members. This is enough. The member of Drafting Committee were Gopalaswamy Iyer, Krishnaswamy Iyer, Muhammad Sadul, K.M. Munshi. K.M. Munshi was only person from the Congress. Madhav Rao actually replaced V.L. Mittar, who was unhealthy and had he was going through some health issues. And similarly, T.T. Krismachari replaced D.P. Khetan, who died in 1948. So all these things that we have talked about are enough for the constituent making of constitution. We can have a close look on the whole part again for better understanding. See, here I talked about who demanded constitution. The important things to learn here is 1934 M.N. Roy, who demanded constitution officially, and 1938 Jawaharlal Nehru talked about universal adult franchisee. He gave the concept of universal adult franchisee. Okay. Now Britishers accepted this demand of Constituent Assembly. In this slide we can see this, and all these missions failed. Only cabinet mission that is mentioned in the last was accepted, and cabinet mission was successful. That was in 1946. Okay, and at the meantime Churchill lost the election and Clement Attlee became prime minister, and he was from Liberal Party. And here we can see what was the cabinet mission, like the 3 members of cabinet ministers came to India, and their name were, it is written, Lord Patrick Lawrence, A.B. Alexander and Cripps. Okay, now this is the composition of Constituent Assembly. Total 389 members were there, and 389 members were further divided into 296 and 93. 296 for the states and union territories occupied by Britishers, and 93 were the free princely states of India. And these 296 states and union territories that were occupied by Britishers were further divided into generals, Muslims and Sikhs. Generals 213 seats, Muslims 79 seats, and Sikhs 4 seats. Okay, now here's the result of election, not so important. And then the formation of Constituent Assembly, or the working of Constituent Assembly. 9 December, first sitting, Sachidanand Sinha. The important point here is, I think everything in this slide is very important. Sachidanand Sinha was the oldest member and hence made the temporary chairman of the Constituent Assembly, and this tradition was taken from the French tradition of making the oldest person as the chairman of any committee. Okay, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad was made permanent chairman in the second sitting on 11 December 1946, and H.C. Mukherjee and V.T. Krishnamachari were selected as vice president. Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan Rai, whose birthday we celebrate as Teachers' Day, was selected as the speaker, and B.N. Rao was the constitutional consultant of Constituent Assembly. Okay, now in this slide we had talked about B.N. Rao and International Court of Justice, that is in Hague, and he was the first judge of International Court of Justice, first Indian judge, not first judge, he was the first Indian judge. He represented India in United Nations also. In United Nations, he was the Prime Minister of Kashmir. He had his role in drafting Burma's constitution and Indian constitution, and he was an IACS officer. So after this, it is about objective resolution that later becomes the preamble of the constitution, that was adopted on 22nd Jan 1947 but was passed on 13th December 1946 in the third sitting. In the third sitting, objective resolution was passed that later on became the preamble of the constitution. Now in this slide, it is Indian Independence Act. The important thing is the Constituent Assembly started acting as two body. Like the first body was working for the formation of constitution, and it was chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad, and these two sittings held on separate dates. Okay, and the second body were looking after the purpose of governing the country or working as the legislative assembly. See, members were same but the chairmen were different and the working was different. So G.V. Mavalankar was chairman of this G.V. Mavalankar chaired the assembly when they meet together with the purpose, with the motive to govern the country, to act as a legislative assembly. And Muslim League left. So out of 389 seats, only 299 seats were left. Okay, and we become sovereign. See, I guess I forgot to discuss this point. By Indian Independence Act 1947, we got right, we become sovereign. Sovereign means that we got right to change any law, abrogate any law made by Britishers, and we are not supposed to follow everything that they imposed on us, Britishers imposed on us. We can have our own law. That means we are sovereign now. Okay, here are some important dates. 22nd July 1947, national flag was adopted officially. May 1949, we become the member of Commonwealth countries. On 21st June 1950, Rajendra Prasad became first president of India. It is the president of India. Okay, and national anthem and national song were also adopted on the same date, 1950, 24th Jan. Okay, now here are some of the important committees, and that was chaired by, like, drafting committee B.R. Ambedkar, fundamental rights and minorities Vallabhbhai Patel, provincial committee Vallabhbhai Patel, union committee, union constitution committee, union power committee, both are chaired by Jawaharlal Nehru. Rules and procedure ad hoc committee, national flag steering committee, finance staff committee, all these 4 committees were chaired by Dr. Rajendra Prasad. And here we discussed about the drafting committee having 7 members. It was formed on 29th August 1947, chaired by Bhimrao Ambedkar. The members were Gopalaswamy Iyengar, Krishnaswamy Iyer, Muhammad Sadul, K.M. Munshi, he was from Congress, and Madhav Rao, who replaced V.L. Mittar, T.T. Krishnamachari, who replaced T.P. Khaitan, who died in 1948. And all these for making of constitution. So you can like, if you understand this video pretty much well, so you can like this video, you can share this, and you can subscribe my channel for similar more videos in English or maybe in Hindi, because I am going to upload the same videos in Hindi also. Thank you.